think today we're gonna go wear this bad boy. Not wear it like a hockey kid. There we go. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. This will be a little bit of a different video. I haven't done one of these before. We're going to be doing a little bit of a tackle organization video, and then while I'm at it, I'm just gonna quickly show you everything I got just as a quick inventory check. I want to look at this video 10 years down the road just to see kind of how I used to organize everything and to see how far I've come, because if I compare all the stuff I've had to a year ago, it doesn't compete. I have so much more stuff now. Not that it makes me any better of a person having so much stuff. I just find it very interesting to see how far I've come in terms of the quality and quantity of tackle I have now. So all in my closet here, as you can see, I mean, I got a couple Humminbird units there, but that is all tackle. There's 3,700 trays back there. Got all my 3,600 trays here, bags, whatever. While we're at it, I just want to do a quick tour of the little layer here. So you walk in, door here. You got my hats. There's a Berkeley hat, Silverado hat, walleye hat, 13 fishing hat, old band poster, Manitoba Moose banner, couple books there. There's the Freshwater Fish of Manitoba book. We have the freshwater game fish poster. If you're ever wondering, my favorite species are that right there, the walleye, Sandrovitreus. Then there's the black crappie right there. It's different from the white crappie. The white crappie has stripes. That's the black crappie. That's one of my favorite species. And my other favorite species right there in the top left is the smallmouth bass. I love looking at this just to make sure I remember what everything looks like. Little deer poster. There's a Markham lithium power chart. I like to have this just as a reference. It shows you all the hours you get with certain units. So for example, my Mega Live bundle with a 30 amp would be about 13 hours right there. So it's just something to keep in mind. I got a bunch of line here. That's all full of line. I got the bulk Power Pro spools here. I have a lot of them, as a matter of fact. 3,000 yard spools. Some of them hold line, some of them are just so if I need to swap line I can throw them on something or just to hold on to it. I've got this little deer setup, courtesy my neighbor actually got this for me. This is a deer cape. There's the antlers there. There's a rabbit pelt. Got a couple more furs behind here. For you hockey fans, there's a couple autographs. There's a Mark Stewart and a more current Mark Scheifele. That was from a while ago when he was fairly freshly a Jet. Got a picture here next to my clock, my first largemouth bass. That was caught in Barron Lake. It's in the White Shell. It's above Falcon. Small little lake. There's largies, smallmouth, there's walleye. Apparently there's crappie. It's one of my favorite photos. I had really wanted to catch a bass. Wasn't very big, but I'll remember that day forever. For the Manitoba Master Angler, I got a plaque here, the 5 species of fish, 5 different master anglers, 5 different species. I just framed that just because I thought it was kind of cool. I'm not a huge master angler submitter. I have a couple pins there as well in that little tray, but I'm not always really keeping track of it. I've got a specialist or two, but there's a couple charts there for the new Humminbird Explorer series and the Mega Live. I like to just look at that and make sure I remember everything on there as well for compatibility. Couple old lures. Master Angler chart back there for all the sizing. There's a map of Lake Winnipeg, picture of a pike, old scale. Thought that was cool. Got a little board here I printed in woodworking class in grade 12, so there's a couple logos there. Got a safe. Got one of the Red October DVDs. I like watching that every now and then. Got the Lake Master pack there. There's an old mug I made in art class in high school. There's a jerk bait. It's supposed to be a Senko. That's a Kamuki right there. Got an old broken rod. That is a icon, St. Croix icon. I just have that just for whatever. In my little corner here as well, there's another board. I got a bunch of logos on here. It's not just an ordinary piece of wood. And there's all my reel cleaning supplies. There is an old Sienna right there. Binos, hats, shells, and a couple feathers from some of my grouse hunts. Got some old hats. There's an old fishing hole hat. Got some truck emblems there. One of my favorite posters there. Bunch of hockey medals. All in there is all fishing magazines, hooked magazines, all that fun stuff. Got a little mat back there. If I'm missing, I'm probably fishing. That is not my alcohol, that's for someone else. I'm holding that for a friend. Bear hunting bag. Old, super old rod case. It's like a bamboo rod in there. That thing is very old. A couple more other things here. Got some knives. Got all my food for when I do camping, when I'm fishing in a back lake. Gotta have the peanut butter, camera lens, calendar. Mounted walleye up there. That is an older mount. A lodge is going out of business and I just got that off them. I wanted to have something like that in my room. It's not in terrible condition. It looks fine. This is before they did the replica, so this was an actual walleye. This is about 27 inches per se. Got some more tails back there. Big rod tube if I ever need. Rod bag in there. On the desk here, that's my old logo, but I got a bunch more brands here. Some of my favorite brands. Stogies. Over here is just my rod rack. I always keep this on me. Got a bunch of my bait casters in here. These are all my nicer-ish combos. Some rods are still in the garage. Got some more spinning setups there. Got a bunch of frostbite rods there. I love my Fluger Trions, as you can see. Running running guns, a couple gold-eye catfish rods, stuff like that. All my frostbite rods for ice fishing's put away. In here, got a big case, filming stuff up there, tip-ups, picture of me. There's a couple old Ion G2 batteries. Those are 2 batteries that crapped out on me, so there's 2 batteries in both those boxes. A couple more bulk spools there for Power Pro fillet knives, more tip-ups, filming stuff up there. I have old baits, old broken stuff in here that I might melt down someday. Got some plastic bags behind the uniform here. Got some of the goods, the ECB, Element Custom Baits, lures that I have in the package still. There's some tray dividers for my boxes. All my Apple products there, fish puzzle. And then going back down here is where we're going to be tackling today. All of these tackle boxes, as you can see. All right, so without further ado here, I'm going to be pulling out all these boxes. We'll lay them out, set it up, and then we also have an unboxing here to do from Gonex. Let's get into it. Alright guys, we got all of my boxes here laid out. I'll have a bunch of loose tackle lying around the house, but this is everything that's in a box. I've accumulated a lot of stuff over the years here, and I'm very blessed, very fortunate to have all this stuff here. I don't take this for granted. I'm very humble about this. But so basically what I do for an outing is I'll have my bag here. This is a PC Fun bag. This will be where I try to have everything with me, so I have all my tools, some plastics, stuff at the top there, whatever. So with the 3600s, I'll have it categorized. So I'll have a hard bait box, a deep diving box, like the 50-cent crappy jig box, a weight box, terminal tackle box, whatever, plastics box. And I can carry about 4, maybe 5 in there, and then I'll go fishing because I just generally don't need all of that stuff. But with this stuff over here, the 3700s, I'll generally just have bulk stuff, and I'll just pull stuff from here and put it into whatever if I'm taking it with me. And then with these here, there's just little smaller boxes here. I can just kind of carry whatever. But yeah, this is the setup. So I'm gonna open up all these boxes here when I go through it, and then after that, I'm gonna move a couple of these boxes into the new boxes that Gonex sent me, and then I'm also going to unbox the new ice fishing bag that's gonna replace that one in there. So without further ado, let's start from over here. All right, so starting over here, I've got my terminal tackle box. I've got some smaller weights, some line weights, got some split shots, some snaps, got some old Aberdeen hooks from pickle rigs, bobber stops, snap swivels, leaders, old Mustad hooks, just kind of a whatever box. This box I've had like this for a while, so I've got some top waters, crankbaits, got some more top water lures there. I've got my Len Thompson spoons. I got some cheaper spoons, some lipless cranks, some more cranks there. I've had this box like this for a while. It's just pretty assorted, but I think it looks really nice. I like it. Next up, this is more of a pike box per se. I've got a bunch of leaders there, you can see. There's a bunch of tubes in there, tube bodies. Got some more paddle tails. Got a huge assortment of plastics here as well. Just all sorts of stuff. Got some pretty big baits there. Those are fun to throw for pike. I haven't thrown these ones here yet. I just got those. Again, cool little box. This is a newly acquired box. Shout out to Ryder. As you can see, or as you might know, I love Z-Man. I absolutely love it. Those are all TRD craws in the motor oil color. There might be a couple assorted in there. Like that's not motor oil right there, but this one is here, and I absolutely love the TRD craws. I love Ned rigs when I can. And there's an absolute crap ton in there. Got some TRDs in there. Got some already rigged here. Some more rigged in there, ready to go. Those all have the glue in them, so they don't want to come off. Got some bigger heads. Got some smaller Ned heads. More TRDs. These here are the creepers from Crush City. Some more there. Those are all the Crush City Ned baits and Ned BLTs there. 3 different colors. Good assortment. Absolutely love this box. Thank you, Ryder. This is a new one I put together here. This is my Lockport Goldeye box. You can see it's broken there, but I got a bunch of smaller 1/8, 1/16 ounce jigs, split shots, a couple swivels, some more split shots, a couple hooks, extra line, that fun stuff. Just everything I would ever really need there. Coming back down, got my weight box. Got a bunch of bells, dollar pickle rigs there, the no rolls, bunch of special ones there from Sasha Spinners. Got some more bait cast sinkers there. Pretty heavy box. In here, got a bunch of old jigs. These are jigs jigs that are just cheap. You get in bulk. So I got whites, a couple already ready to go. But I don't really dig in here too much unless maybe if I'm giving it to someone or if someone else is using it. Like this is a nice lake trout lure, for example. I'm ice fishing or even pike fishing, I guess. Nothing crazy in here. A bunch of gold jigs. I love the gold metallic reflect jigs. Not a bad box. In here, this is some long bodied. There's some jerk baits in here, and there's some deep diving. Those are some Rapalas there. Those are expensive. I got in the clearance. Some pretty deep diving there. Some jointed, some shatter apps you can see by Berkeley. Some Cabela's binned ones there. Smaller stuff. I like this box. I don't dig in here too much. I think there's a couple of reef runners in there too, but another good one. In here, this is an ice fishing box. We're gonna be moving today. Got all my stuff that I really ever need ice fishing. So as you can see, there's some Sasha spinner stuff there. There's some Acme baits in there. Got some hyper hammers. My favorite realistic rattle baits are from Live Target. They just look so good. Jigging wraps from Rapala. Those are some big sizes though. I don't really like the hooks on the front, to be honest. I find those catching the ice. Older Element Custom Baits lures here. That one on the bottom there is fairly old. My favorite colors here in the Rippin' Shads from Northland. I love the green tiger and just the white. Got a couple other of those colors in there. Some smaller ones in there. Kamuki, I've never really done good. I know Gord Pizer loves them, but I don't really do as good. Northland jigging baits there. Some replacement wings for the hyper hammer, and then just some snaps. I love this box. This is another newly acquired box. This is all the stuff that I love using. These are all my confidence baits. The Z-Man and a little bit of Crush City there. These are all the Z-Man minnows. Bunch of different colors here. I love the whites, the pearl whites. Those are one of my favorites here. Bunch of different colors to choose from, and I'll show you the jig box in a sec. Got one already baited there. Then some jigging style Crush City baits there as well. Got two different colors. One of my favorite boxes here as well. I always want to pull something from here. It's always just my confidence box, and I absolutely love it. Moving up here, this is a double-sided one. I got some more stuff on the bottom. A bunch of my pike fishing jerk bait stuff in there. There's some Husky jerks. There's some Rapala one there. I think it's like the Ripstop. I can't exactly remember, but that one's expensive. This is a good box in the spring. Arguably my most expensive box. This is my main jig box. So these are all the jigs that I love using. These are all my confidence jigs. You're gonna see some Smeltonators. You're gonna see some Ned heads up there. A bunch of deep Vs. I got a deep V underspin. I love the deep Vs. They're my favorite jig to this day. The Sasha Spinners premium bladed jig here is another amazing one. I just don't always want to use a blade, but those are fantastic. Those are my go-to. Pendu, Tungsten, Acme, MVP jigs, more gold jigs as you can see there. Absolutely love that box. Definitely one of my favorites. In here, this is kind of a rebuilding box. I've got some jerk baits that don't have any trebles. I've got a bunch of the old pickle rig arms. You'll find if I'm at Lockport, I'll pick some up and then bring them home. Chatterbait or spinner bait or whatever skirts there, replacement ones. Split rings, old pickle rig beads. And when I used to paint a little bit, these are some of the ones I did. I ordered the blanks on Amazon and painted these up. A lot of these did not get put into actual lures or put into production. Not bad for a 14-year-old. In here, this is a crappie box. Various plastics in here. Some jigs by Sasha Spinners again. A short shank fireball style jigs in there. A couple more plastics. Nothing crazy. In here, again, this is a double-sided one, just a bunch of little crappy plastics. Over here, these are another Gonex branded boxes. They sent me these as well. Thank you very much to Gonex. This one I turned into a fly box for the very few flies that I do have. It's double-sided as well. And this one here is another really good one. It's got all my tungstens and all that fun stuff. It's good to just have it so I can see everything as opposed to having it in that style of box there. Looks good like that on display. And a bunch of plastics here. The 13 fishing plastics to this day are still my favorite to use through the ice and just in general for crappie. A couple of marabous in there. Fantastic setup there. Thank you to them for sending me that. And then there's some bigger boxes here. So again, all of these four here I got off of a friend Ryder, so thank you to him. A bunch of pearl white. You're gonna see there's some Crush Cities. I don't really use Crush City as much. You see it's got the Rapala. Nice tail on something like that for sure. Got a bunch of big body baits there. I don't really remember the names of Crush Cities as much. Some more in there. These are some Z-Mans here. They're the bigger style baits. I gotta use these in the next little while. These are some bigger minnows by Z-Man. I think these are 4-inch, but I could be wrong. A couple different colors. I like this glitter gold color. That's a fantastic color as well. Cool little box there. This is kind of a whatever box. I've got a bunch of stuff that I don't know if I'd ever really use. Like, it's just stuff like that. I don't largely fish. I'm not from Florida. I don't think I'll be throwing very many Senkos unless I was cutting them up for Ned rigs, but I've got way too many Ned rig bodies now, so I don't know if I'll use these for a long time. But another one of my favorite boxes. These are some more Z-Mans. These are just bigger Z-Mans. When I got this definitely is the biggest Z-Man I've ever seen in my life. That is going to be an expensive Northland Smeltinator jig right there. I don't even know if this jig is really rated for this body. This is way too much separation from the hook to the bottom. Super cool. And a couple big ones in there as well. This is a jigging style one here. I'm going to use that lake trout fishing, but that one's really sick as well. And then a bunch of different colors, but just bigger sizes of the minnows, the Z-Man minnows. There's the gold. I love that glitter gold. That's fantastic. Really sick box there. I love that. Last but not least, after this bobber box here, which is just whatever, got a bunch of the classic old round bobbers. I've got a Crush City kind of box. So there's more Crush City baits in there. A few different sizes, a few different colors. There's some random assorted bulk classics there. Another pretty expensive box. Yeah, that's basically all my stuff right there. All my main stuff. Pretty overwhelming, but pretty cool. All right, I'm also wearing the GoPro here just because whatever. Another angle to have, unboxing everything. Here is the box sent to me by Gonex. I just had to double check to make sure it was the right package. First off, I'm gonna take out their tackle bag. So I got sent the black one. So this is definitely a bigger box than my other one here. This is a Cabela's branded one. This is definitely going to be bigger. I also want the bigger size as well, because if you saw at the start of the video where I was showing all the canned food I have, for ice fishing it's always very good. I'll be able to have it all in one bag as opposed to having it in a separate bag. Got the spikes on the bottom here. Opening it up, all this clear stuff on the top there is where I'm going to stick all my tools. That's very nice. Both sides look identical. I've got this little pocket here. I can also put a knife on this outside bit there, so I will definitely do that. Same thing on this side. And then on the front where it says Gonex, more stuff there that I can put, and then I have this just little mesh siding pocket. But this should definitely be very nice for the upcoming 2025-2026 ice fishing season. Never too early to start thinking about it. I think it was Fred Bear that said, once this season ends, the next one immediately starts, essentially. So I'm gonna move some stuff from this one into here right now. We might as well. I'll quickly do this. All right, so out with the old. In here, in the side pocket, I've got my ice picks, very important for early in the season. In the front here, this was also sent by Gonex actually. All my spoons, got some buckshots there, Northland stuff, PK. It still kind of bangs around, got the tungsten spoons there, the newer Northland spoons. Put that in this front pocket right there. On this side here, put some old line, some bleeder line. I always just use mono, I don't really care about fluoro. Inside, got my cleats. I mainly only ever need this for ice fishing, just keeping them in the hole so they don't freeze their eyeballs off, and then I could get ready for pictures, whatever, this and that. Last but not least, this is just stuff for jaw jackers. This is stuff for My Fish Pro, jackfish rigs, pike rigs, nothing crazy in there. Very nice. Also in this box here, this is gonna be nothing crazy, just more boxes. It's gonna be your standard tray, just says Gonex on the front. It's already got its dividers in there, which is nice. That's all you need. Awesome. All right, so very last thing on today's agenda. I've got some boxes here. So these two here are ice fishing boxes that I want to convert. I just want fresh new boxes, so I'm going to put them into these two boxes here. And then I will have two boxes left for whatever I want. I was thinking about converting over that gold eye box because it's cracked, but I'll just leave it, it's fine. To the montage. We got the old boxes here, didn't look the same. It's harder to see through, they get scratched over time. Then with the new here, nice and shiny, Looks good. These dividers are fantastic. You get the ones from Cabela's where you have to cut them and they're all attached to the side, and then with the siding there you have to make it perfectly fit, but they send it perfectly, so thank you to them. Now I want to go ice fishing. I mean, I use this open water too, but this ice fishing box is going to be sitting for a little while before it's time to use it. Looks good. And then 2 extras there. I'll figure something out eventually. Good to have. Well guys, normally I would shut it off here, but since we're already on a roll and I've given you a room tour, I'm going to show you guys where I also edit my videos. Let's head to the basement. Alright, might sound like a jet engine back here. Anyway, so starting off, got a little portable charging station here. My dad will usually charge his phone on top of there just to have near me. On this ice chest here next to the printer I use, first Master Angler walleye, 29 inches. There's a video actually with that I have on my channel here. That was at 29 with my friend Caden. Got some school stuff here. Got the iPad with the pencil, got the hooked magazine there, fun folders, all that good stuff. Got my board, fishery stuff, a couple Rubik's Cubes, pencils, stuff like that. We'll start up here. This was the first hooked magazine entry that I ever did. Don Lamont, the editor, was kind enough to get me into the feature. I just decided to frame what I wrote there. Did a white shell gold. This was spring of last year, I believe. And then the next article that was published, I made the cover here. I also had an entry in the magazine somewhere. It's cool making the cover, so I framed both of those. They're right above my setup here. Then over here is the computer. This is where I do all of my editing here. Double monitor setup for those of you who care. There's a 240 hertz monitor and a 165 hertz monitor there. H2O. I'm always trying to look through the Manitoba Angler's Guide there just for important information. Here's an important one. Possession limit is the same as your daily limit, so you can't have more than 4 walleye in your freezer essentially. So that's something important to know, and that's why I like to read through this every single day, or at least try to remember all the limits. Got my mic set up here. When I'm doing the QX104 fishing reports for the fishing hole, I like to record with that. Nice and crisp audio. Then for the actual computer, for those of you who really care, the GPU is an RTX 4070 and the CPU is a Ryzen 9 5900X. Fairly beefy, solid setup. Last but not least, a little walleye frame thing here. Pretty cool, that's glass there. I think it looks nice, something cool to have. And this afternoon I will be focusing on editing this video. I'd say stay tuned, but you're watching it, so yeah. So guys, that is going to finally conclude this episode here. I think it's always interesting to see what people have and how they organize it. I don't do this in a way to show off what I have. I always think the whitetail cribs, for example, episodes are pretty cool to watch. It's cool to see how people organize everything, just how everything looks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, help out the algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Whew. Yeah.